as soon as I see the first flutter of your flag, I'll come down from Raven's Rock, and as soon as you land there at Tarrytown, I'll be in your arms. Oh, that'll be splendid. We can go to New York City and there be married. We'll leave this war-torn land. To Jamaica we'll sail to live on my sugar plantation. Their life will be sweet. And the two laughed and believed by their love they would be protected. But these were war-torn times. The lieutenant went down to Dobbs Ferry. Duty called. Priscilla began to sew her wedding dress with scraps of white that she would happen to find. The blacksmith said, "He's not going to come for thee." The alewife said, "And if he does, Priscilla, he'll bring you to New York City, steal a few kisses, then break your heart. Lass, let him go, let him go." She said, "So little do you two know. My beloved is true. He'll come for me. He'll come for me." Well, 2 months came and went. And on that day, Priscilla went up to Raven Rock in her wedding dress. There she could spy the Tappan Zee. As she gazed out across, seeking her beloved, she found something coming for her. 'Twas the first storm of winter. Winds moaned and raced across the river, pushing in front of them icy fingers. Snow began to fall as Priscilla kept her vigil. But gazing out, she saw on the Hudson whitecaps foaming, and she thought in her love delirium, perhaps that could be the white flag of my beloved's ship. So to those foaming waves she called, "My beloved, is that you? Have you come for me?" But all that came for Priscilla were more wind and waves and storms. The snow began to gather up to her ankles, then to her knees. And now her voice grew hoarse, her lips blistered, her eyes were bloodshot, but still through that wintry night she called, "My beloved! Is that you? Have you come for me?" But only more snow and moaning wind and icy-fingered snows came for Priscilla. Her skin grew gray with frostbite. Her knuckles were raw, but still she kept her vigil long into that blizzard. When at last morning came, this was a war-torn time. People had no time to wonder about some lovelorn lass. They had chores to do, cattle to feed, fires to start, a harvest to think about. But now, when spring came, people got an answer. Well, during the winter, the blacksmith said, "Oh, we haven't seen Priscilla. Maybe she did end up having her beloved come." "Well, maybe," said the alewife. "If he did come, no doubt he broke her heart. She's probably working in some tavern, serving flip to them redcoats. That's what we'll have to tell her brothers when they show up." Well, there showed up at Raven Rock a couple of huntsmen. They were out looking for rabbit when they happened upon something. "What's that there?" "Oh, I don't know. But I know but one thing. Looks like something for the Dominie to look into." Now the two ran down to the old Dutch church built by the Phillips family in the late 1600s. The Dominie, the reverend of the church, said, What is it?" when the huntsman called. "Bring your good book, Dominie. Come at once. There's something you must see. Come at once." Well, he gathered up his shawl and his Bible and went up with the huntsman to Raven Rock. When he clapped his eyes upon this sight, he said, I don't quite know who this is, but those hands, I believe, once took off the boots of a British officer, though now the knuckles stick through the skin. And those cheeks, which now hang from the bone, once were flush with love. This is Priscilla. Oh, alas! What happened? What happened? Begged the hunters. Oh, don't you see what happened? She came here months ago to look for her beloved, to await him at these rocks. But what came for her was a storm and death. Well, come there, man. Don't just stand there. Let's bring her down and at least give her a burial. She's been resting here all the winter. And that very gown, which had once been the hoped-for bridal garb, became the funeral garb. They rolled her into it and carried her down. They laid her to rest in a grave. And yea, the body rested. But the spirit was moved by love. And that good book says love conquers even death. And so now it seems, by several reports over the years, Priscilla rises up by her love, a whitish glowing shape. She goes out before storms to seek her beloved, calling out. Her voice is now heard in amidst the moans of the winds, calling. If you come upon that voice, fear not. 'Tis just the lovelorn spirit known as the White Lady of Raven Rock. Thank you for listening to her tale. I'm your storyteller, Jonathan Kruk.